from Synergy Behavior Solutions. We are here today in very, very smoky Portland, Oregon. We unfortunately have had a bunch of wildfires outbreak, and we are trying to deal with really bad air quality, and then we are getting lots of information, questions from clients, where what to do with your dogs. You know, we can't really be out walking. Our air quality is at the point where it is considered hazardous, and so we shouldn't be outside for long times. Rizzo said, let's get this show on the road. So today we're going to talk about indoor enrichment and things that we can do to keep our dogs entertained. I'm first going to do is we're going to talk about puzzle bowls. So puzzle bowls are really great. They definitely slow down dogs for their eating, but my dogs, it doesn't really slow them down much. So my favorite activity to do with puzzle bowls is a good old, this is not peanut butter because this is allergic to peanut butter. So this is actually almond butter. What you can do is you can start to smear the almond butter or peanut butter or cream cheese or spray cheese or whatever gross, mushy concoction your dog likes all over all of the little cracks and crevices. And what I like about this is it takes a lot longer to clean out than just a plain old Kong. I'm not going to do a ton because I want Rizzo to be entertained for a little bit while we're talking, but not have to take forever to do this. So this is one way to use your puzzle bowl. And I'm going to give this to her right now so she can stop yapping at me while we're talking. So she's down here. I'll let her have that while we're talking. The other thing with puzzle bowls that are great that we love to do at Synergy is fill them with broth. So we use a lot of canned chicken at the office, and it comes, you know, with the chicken broth built in. And so we will save that broth and put it in the puzzle bowls and then freeze it. And if you want to make it even a little more fun or challenging, when you can go ahead and put some treats and kibble and all sorts of stuff in the broth and then freeze it, and that takes a super long time. So my dogs are pretty impressive about how fast they can empty out food toys. It's like ridiculous because they're awesome at it. But those broth bowls can take them 30, 45 minutes, sometimes even longer. And I just take my regular puzzle bowls that I would feed my dog out of anyway to help work that into it. Newer one that I got was this little fun guy. It is just another one where you can put smushy stuff on. This is not meant for, I mean, you could put kibble on it, but I don't think it would take the dog very long. So this one is meant to be more of a licky mat type of thing, but for bigger dogs. So if you haven't heard of licky mats, so these little silicone mats that you can smear stuff on and give dogs to entertain themselves. I can't use those in my house because Rizzo eats them, because why not? They have stuff on them. So I bought this instead for her, so it's a little more sturdy, and we can still smear stuff on it to keep her entertained. So she's happily with her puzzle bowl. I'm going to smear a little bit of stuff on this one too to swap her out. So if you don't have a puzzle bowl or something like this, you can just easily take a sheet pan and you can smear stuff on a sheet pan and give your dog something to lick on a sheet pan. I got a quarter sheet pan But so we took a little box that I got shipped, and this is filled with toilet paper tubes. So I've been hoarding toilet paper tubes. Doesn't everybody hoard toilet paper tubes? I do. Because this now becomes a great puzzle toy, and it's really fun because Bueller, my little fluffy scruffy, and then Rizzo both play with this game, but they play with it completely different. So Bueller actually takes the whole box and tips it over and does that to it to get the treats out of the box. And he likes to play with the whole box as a item. He does not know how to pull these little things out to help himself. Rizzo, I think these are all kind of chewed up. Rizzo likes to actually pull them out one at a time and figure out what is inside them and then get into the box a little more easily that way. I also will take packing paper and stuff them in the toilet paper tubes and fill those with treats, so they have to pull out the packing paper and then get to the tube and then get to the stuff underneath. So you can make this really, really creative on the layers. You want to start out easy. First, just make sure your dog isn't afraid of the box, so I would just fill up treats in the box without the toilet paper tubes and set it there and let them go ahead and play with that. The other thing, like your big tubes, if you have smaller dogs, you can do the same game with toilet paper tubes. So you just fold in the ends. And if you have a dog who's not super great at puzzle toys, this is how I start. One end folded, one end open, put some treats in there and let them play with it. As they understand the game, you can fold in the other side, and you can also cut holes in this one too. Just a little bit smaller for our smaller guys. So that's an easy one to do. I also put the folded toilet paper tubes in there also. So those are some things that I had around the house. The other thing is we love Popples. I love Popples. Popples are made by West Paw. It's actually a company based in Montana. They probably have horrible weather too right now. What I love about the Popples is that they're really big and easy for the dogs to clean out, but they hold a lot, especially this bigger size. But one of the tricks that most people don't realize with Popples is you can take a baby Popple and a big Popple, and you can put them together, and you can make an additional puzzle toy. So I will even do this where I will fill up both halves and then freeze them together and have the dogs work on that. Or you can just use it as a interactive puzzle toy where if you fill it up with kibble, they have to roll it around and interact with it that way. So I love the Popples that way. My dogs are really good at those. Rizzo says she's done and she would like a refill. Let's see what we can have to give her. Rizzo's dealing with some allergy issues due to the smoke. So we're going to give her this, and maybe I'll show her because she looks ridiculously cute in her pajamas so that she doesn't lick her belly. But we'll give her that first. Oh, child, thank you. Let you guys go see her playing with it. So, there she is. That's Rizzo in her PJs playing with that toy. I think there's a way to even change the camera. There you go. That's so much better. All right, so that's how Rizzo plays with that toy. I dropped a couple pieces of kibble in there, and you can see her pulling out the little tubes. And so if you have a dog who has allergy issues and licks their belly, I strongly recommend this cute little pajama set that I got for her. So that way she doesn't have to wear her cone. All right. We'll keep letting her play with that while we talk. I'm going to probably refill her. There you go. All right. Put it back down so you don't get seasick. I'm going to refill her little puzzle toy here because otherwise Rizzo says, why are there all the puzzle toys up on the counter and I'm not getting them? So a little more extra smear of almond butter for her, keep her entertained. She has a very good nose. We do nose rubs. So that's the other thing that you can start to do at home that's easy and great fun for the dogs to keep them entertained is any type of scent detection work. So you can start hiding those boxes with the treats in them instead and let the dog go find the treats. You could just hide treats around the house. But our favorite game that we do at Synergy is called Pac-Man. And so if you think back to, your childhood, or if you're my age, back to the arcade days, of our little friend yellow Pac-Man coming across the screen. And so what you do for Pac-Man is you just set treats in a trail. And you start really easy at first, and you just set them maybe about a foot apart and let your dog figure out how to follow the Pac-Man trail. And then as your dog gets to know this game, you can make it super complicated. You can make turns, you can have them go up on furniture or down furniture, our robot vacuum. That's my entertainment for the day. And so with the Pac-Man game, we go ahead and use it for shy dogs to build some confidence, but then also for really energetic dogs. What I love about the Pac-Man game is it slows them down. So it gets them really much slower and calmer while they are having to search. Where regular nose work can really raise a dog's excitement level and get them running around. So that's it. The other thing I came up with for our upcycled is I had these Easter eggs back in the spring, and I went ahead and made little strings on them, and I put them on a mobile. I used my Swiffer broom to make a little mobile. I have open ones, and I have open and closed ones, and I would put treats in, and the dogs would have to hang out with the mobile and open those up and play with those. I got a question. Hi, Jenny. What's the name of the upcycled Facebook page? I think it's just Upcycled Dog Enrichment. Isn't it bad I own the page and I don't know what it is? I will post a link to it when we're done with this Facebook Live. Because I would really love some more people to join us on that page and come up with some great ideas. The reason we started that page was there's a lot of canine enrichment pages out there. But the reason we started this one is we really wanted about stuff that you have around your house and just being creative with stuff that you already have instead of having to spend money on things that maybe you don't like or maybe your dog destroys or things like that. Because I don't care if the dog destroys a paper towel tube at all. So that's some ideas that we came up with here around the house and that I've been doing to keep my dogs entertained. Just a quick reminder, if you are in a multiple dog household like I am, is making sure that your enrichment is set up in a safe way so that the dogs are not fighting over things like that. So right now, notice I only have one dog out because Rizzo has made a mess of the floor with the toilet paper tube game. And so it's really important that we don't cause any conflict when we're doing enrichment. So Beulah's upstairs having lunch with my son. Lindy's in her crate right now having some enrichment in her crate, and Rizzo gets to be out for Facebook Live. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope we've given you some ideas of what things you can do and have fun with your dog while we're stuck inside with the smoky weather and we can't do our normal stuff. And if you have any questions or any thoughts or ideas about your enrichment that you've been doing with your dog, we'd love to hear it in the comments. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much.